The Dooo reveals his mystery guitar, which is already pretty much fucking revealed because you can see it right here on this screen, which actually kind of, you know, I like playing games. I like guessing. I did guess it was a Music Man. I thought it was a John Petrucci model, as my buddy, well, I'm not sure how good of buddies we are, but we were in a jazz band together, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and he played a Petrucci model, and when I saw the silhouette, that's the first thing I thought. Anyways, what's up, YouTube? Because probably 99.99999% of you are watching this on YouTube, but what's up also people here in the live stream on Twitch? What the fuck does that mean? Hey, people on Twitch, if you happen to be here, there's a shitload of videos on YouTube. People on YouTube, in case you want to be part of the live thing, bring your ass to, Twitch. Although I recorded the most absurd, basically take what anyone would tell you to do to record videos to be successful. I do the fucking opposite because I'm a broken human being. It is 12:11 midnight, after midnight. I'm assuming not the best time to stream. And I don't have a schedule. So yeah, but anyways, the Dooo, who is awesome. I love the Dooo. I love watching his stuff, which kind of got me into watching more Davey 504 and Two Set and Herman Lee, Dragon Force stuff. Yeah, definitely loved it. That looks to be, I'm pretty bad with wood. Throw your fucking puns in there. But I'm assuming that's a maple neck, which if it is, I think that my favorite necks I've played on is maple. Although I think my Paul Reed Smith, I don't know. I really don't know the wood on that neck. What are the options? Mahogany or ebony, probably? I'm a little too worked up. Let's fucking go. Let's get into it. Sometimes you just have to like fucking take a pause, man. You're fucking in the world. Like you're like, oh, remember to fucking breathe. Let's go. People on YouTube. I was just watching an instructional video where the dude was talking super slow, so I had it at double speed. Let's try this again. Oh, that reminds me of fucking Eugene's Trick Bag from Crossroads. And now that he's playing Yngwie, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a fucking copyright strike for all this shit. Well, that's exactly the shit from Trick Bag. Is that harmonic minor going down? Probably. Also, dude, I assume this guitar is stock, but something my buddy did, which turned out pretty fucking well. He had an American Strat with lace sensors in it, and I don't know, probably after 7 years or something, he was like, dude, I think I'm gonna go crazy. I think I'm gonna change this whole thing up. I'm like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna replace the pickups. I was like, oh, with what? And he goes, humbuckers. I was like, but your guitar is, not humbuckers. He goes, yeah, dude, I'm going to get someone to recut this fucker and I'm going to put fucking humbuckers in it. And that shit was badass once he did it. It was super. I don't even think it cost that much. I think he probably did the whole thing for $200 or less. Well, I think the pickups were only $40. So the question was, how much did the tech charge him to install and cut the pick guard in the neck? But was fucking dope, as is the Dooo.
Alright, so you're probably wondering, what the hell is that beautiful guitar you were just playing? This right here is my buddy Jared Dine's brand new signature guitar. It's a—
Oh, Jared Dine's got a signature guitar? What's up? Oh, wait a minute, I don't even know if anyone's talking. I can't see a chat. Okay, no one's talking to me. That's why I talk to myself. How do I go back to this? Anyways, Jared Dines has a signature. I feel like everyone's got a signature now.
A Sterling Music Man Stingray model, which he was kind enough to send out to me to try out. Right off the bat, man, I gotta say, this thing sounds and feels really good. So I figured what I'd do is just make a little demo video of it and play a few songs.
Yeah, so let's look at that. We have one knob with a roll at the bottom, so I'm guessing the roll is a tone and the top is a volume. And then we have a 3-way selector because we only have 2 pickups. It looks like a kind of a stock tremolo. I bet there's something fancy about that tremolo, but it's 24 frets, probably maple. Like I said in the beginning, I'm guessing maple. What else do people make necks out of?
Requests that I see you guys ask for a lot on like Twitter and Discord.
Also, like me, he's missing one of his little plugins on the guitar stand. I have like, I don't know how many guitar stands I have. I probably 15 maybe. Every single one of them is missing something.
Or just see how the guitar sounds with them.
Dude, fuck you. I was just trying to play this the other day. I didn't make it. Fuck, dude. He is playing something different than what the tab said. That I know for certain. He's playing some of those harmonics in different spots. Oh, and I think he's also tapping some higher notes that were written as harmonics. Which is a big fucking deal when you're playing a hard-ass song. If you play something that's already hard and you play it the wrong way, it makes it fucking impossible. Yeah, give him that, whatever the fuck that is. An E minor chord, but up a 7, so a B minor chord. I mean, up a 5th. Is that right? Is a B minor harmonic?
The feel of a guitar will usually determine whether or not you like it pretty much within seconds. And I actually lost track of time noodling around on this guitar when I first picked it up because it just doesn't get in the way of your playing at all. One of the first things I noticed was the stacked volume and tone pots.
Ah, nailed it. But I mean, it's kind of obvious. You have to have a volume and tone unless you only have a volume knob. So if you have only 2 knobs, it has to be volume and tone. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You could wire it differently, but typically any guitar you see that only has 2 knobs is going to have volume and tone. And if it's stacked, it doesn't matter because it's still the same purpose. So one's got to be volume, one's got to be tone. But nailed it.
Which is awesome, because one of my biggest pet peeves with guitars is when there's like a ton of knobs unnecessarily cluttered all around your picking hand and just getting in the way. So the way that they stacked the pots here for the tone and the volume to just be one big knob, that's really cool actually. I'm a big fan of that. And the 3-way tone switch he put on here is in a really easy to reach spot, which is also a must for me because I hate having to jump over a herd of knobs just to get to the pickup switch. Anyway.
Well, yeah, he's putting the Gibson style design. Oh, but is there still one at the top too? In case you want it up there, what the fuck is there one at the top for? But anyways, I'm saying he put a Gibson style switch in a Fender style location.
Anyway, I'm talking about knobs too much.
Is it weird that I look at that chord structure and go, that's basically the same chord structure as Dave Matthews Band, Crash Into Me, with the droning B's and E's, and then the moving bass from an F. All the notes are E, F sharp, G sharp, B, and the crash is a C sharp, so there's a C sharp coming here. Tap that harmonic, bitch. Okay, so people are like, he makes the loops and includes the harmonics in the loops. So did he actually like make this whole backing track with the measures involved and put the harmonics in the loop? You sure he doesn't ever just add the harmony in post? I mean, it's no different if he's going to make the backing track up front. That's no different than adding it in post. It's all production. So if you're gonna create music up front that you're going to use in the video, that's no different than adding music later on. because it's like not part of a real-time thing. It's just a question. I think I don't know which way I would do it. I would do the harmonies in post. Just because you already can hear the line you're playing. And so you can make sure your timing is perfect with the line that you actually did in the video. It's not a cheat either way. It's just how you go about it. But it's which one you're playing to. So if he makes the loop with the harmonies in advance, then he has to make sure that when he plays the melody, he's in time with the harmony notes of the track. But if he leaves the harmony notes out of the backing track, then he can play along, he can add the harmonies with the time and feel of what he actually played on the video. For me, I would rather match what I did on camera in real time instead of matching the backing track. Does that make sense, maybe? What's up, Niles? Am I sure about what? I don't even read chat. Niles asks, am I sure about that? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm being asked about. The Dooo is dope. He does some guess the song games. It's funny. I like guessing this stuff. See, YouTube, this is what you're missing out on. If you're on YouTube, you're not here as part of that. See, people ask a question. I don't even know what the question is. You could be here and ask me questions where I don't know what the question is. Like when someone's like, dude, are you sure? Like imagine someone sent you a letter in the mail and you opened it up and it said, are you sure? You're like, from fucking when? Like, I'm not sure about anything. And you start replaying like your previous days. Like, am I sure about what? What is it? You're like, I took some medicine. Am I sure it's the right one? Did I take the right dose? Like, fuck me. Oh. His question was a meta question. When I was like, I think I'm talking to no one. He was like, are you sure about that? Which would be funny if I read it right when that happened, because I'm talking to nobody, but I'm talking to somebody. Which is proof that I'm not talking. Me be not talking to nobody. Let's go, Dooo.
Another interesting thing about this.
Now that I said it before, I would definitely 100% add my harmonies in post. The only reason I would not add the harmonies in post would be if it made my workload tremendously higher. If there was something with moving the files around and converting them over to make sure I could actually edit them, and it made something, because if you do it with the loop, it might, it takes you maybe a minute or two. But if doing it in post made it take an hour instead of 2 minutes, I would just fucking do it on the looper. Just, dude, 2 minutes versus an hour. You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist for that shit.
This guitars, I'm pretty sure it's the only Stingray model that has 24 frets. I also think it's dope that Jared threw in a kill switch on here too. It's actually
that's what it is. I was like, did he put one in? Okay. But it's still a toggle? It's a toggle kill switch?
First time ever playing a guitar that's even.
I thought toggles were pushes. I've never owned a guitar with it. I don't think I've owned a guitar with a toggle switch. If I have, I've only owned one. There was a time in my life when I flipped guitars and I had fucking 30 guitars at a time. Not a brag, kind of a brag. But what I thought would happen is if I was buying and selling guitars, I would just play a lot of guitars. And instead what happens is the same thing when you have 30 fucking video games. You tend to play just 2 or 1. So I didn't really play any of those guitars, which I don't really flip guitars anymore. I do low model guitars now because I find it easier to sell guitars to beginners and people who are looking to spend less than about $300. So if I see a guitar for $25 that I could sell for $150, I always grab that shit.
I haven't had one. And if you don't know what they do, they pretty much allow you to do stuff like this.
That's gotta wear the fuck out of that switch though. Why would you not just do a push switch? Maybe it's easier rhythmically to toggle it. By the way, first toggle switch song I ever played was Seven Dust. And I didn't have a toggle switch. I just used, I was playing a Les Paul, so I just turned one pickup all the way off and then toggled it between the middle, between the front and the back position to have the toggle on and off. Yeah, you can hear the wear and tear on that fucking switch.
So yeah, I think overall the guitar turned out really good. And I think all the tones that I managed to get out of it sounded pretty nice too. Hey, you gotta love aesthetically how it looks too, man. That gold on black looks really, really nice. But yeah, shout out again to Jared for sending it my way. If you guys are interested in the guitar, I left a link in the description where you guys can find all the other info about it. They're going for $6.99, which I think is not bad at all for everything that you got out of this guitar. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the little demo, and I will see you all in the next one.
Yeah, if that's actually, I would have to, of course, actually play the guitar. But if you can get a really solid guitar for $700, I mean, who knows what the secondary market is? Maybe it's like $550 or something. I picked up some Les Pauls for about $550, which are solid instruments. Yeah, that price point is really odd, because if you go down to say like $350, $300, you can pick up some really good gear, and then whatever you don't like about it, you can spend $100 on and change it up. And if you go $200 or $300 higher, you now all of a sudden can get a whole different class of instrument. So by the way, my Paul Reed Smith, I've never said on the channel, my Paul Reed Smith, which is a custom 22, I picked up for $950. I think after shipping and tax and everything, it's probably $1,025, but they're about $1,500 in the store. So it's really a question of, do you want to, because if you go down to a $300 to $500 line of guitar and you get one used, you can buy the highest end of the lower model, and then you can customize it, which is pretty sick. So I really find that $650 to $800 range, $850 range, I find it really troubling. It's like are you overpaying for not quite a good enough thing, or you're right over something great on the bottom, and you're just under a whole nother level of instrument. So I really need to play that guitar and see what it felt like. Plus, what's its competition? Its competition is our Les Paul Studios and American-made Fenders that are used. You can pick up used American Fender Strats, $700, no problem. Les Paul Studios, $700. So it's really what you're looking for in the instrument, I think. But the dude kicks ass, and it's always fun to watch one of his videos. Which, by the way, this whole trouble of what to buy within a price range is actually how I got into buying and selling guitars in the first place. Is I had a guitar that was worth, I don't know, $600, and I saw another guitar that I wanted for about $600, but I didn't have any money. So I was like, well, I could sell this guitar and buy that guitar. But I was like, but I don't want to sell it, because at that time I was a guy who I would buy a guitar and just keep it, like whatever, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, just keep it, with no intention of ever selling it. But then I was having a heart-to-heart myself. I remember where I was, when I was, how old I was. I remember the building I was in. I remember the person I was living with. I remember all when this clicked in my head. As I was like, well, wait a minute. If I sell which I think I had a Big Apple Strat at the time, Fender Big Apple Strat, which is a dual humbucker Strat. But I was like, if I sell this guitar, I can buy this other guitar for free. I was not at all thinking about making money. But I was like, if I sell this guitar and I can get the other guitar for free, well then like every month I could just do that. And so just over the next year, I could have 12 fucking guitars for free. I can't have them all at the same time, but I can have them for free. And because I was cheap and didn't have money, I had to wait to find like really good deals on guitars. And then it just so happened that when I bought a guitar and sold it, I would turn like a small profit, $50, $100, $150, something like that. And I was like, well, fuck. Well, now I want to buy, because once I had, $500 in profit, I still had a guitar. So I was like, well, now I'll have 2 guitars, and let's sell 2 guitars and buy 2 guitars every month. And then before you know it, it was, I really don't know how many guitars I flipped in a single year, but definitely 100 guitars. It's like if you can emotionally part ways with the instrument you currently have, which I never sold my favorite acoustic guitar I've had for probably, fucking since high school. So like the couple of guitars that mean something to me, no. They're always around, but everything else is expendable. Every other instrument is expendable, and I try to also make sure that I don't develop an emotional connection with an instrument, because then I won't want to sell it. Anyways. Oh yeah, my shirt. Britney Spears. What? I bought it just because I thought it looked funny. I assume I'm wearing it sarcastically, but then I realized I grew up in a generation where Britney Spears was played so much that you just knew her songs. This same shit happened with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I hated Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Britney Spears, just hated them while they were actually happening. And then later on, the fact that I hated them and knew all their lyrics to all their radio hit songs and MTV songs and stuff now became kind of nostalgic. It's like, oh yeah, this is back in a time when you couldn't choose everything you wanted to listen to. And so you just found yourself knowing like all the lyrics to all these songs you fucking hated. Anyways, that concludes this video of the Dooo mystery guitar. I'm gonna turn off all this shit and get back to the Twitch live chat. And yeah, fucking bye YouTube.